So, trying to make a little support box for the console that I'm going to try and fit into the Astro van. Years ago I bought a central console from a 7.5 ton Iveco truck that was being converted from fridge truck to scaffolding truck, and I've had it stashed, and when I was taking out the spare bits that I have for the S10, I rediscovered this thing, so I'm going to try and make that work for the van. This plastic is incredibly brittle. You can see it doesn't take much of an impact to smash it. But what I'm going to do is I've drilled some holes. I'm going to try and cut with an angle grinder actually between these, because I don't have a hot blade. I can't be bothered heating up a blade to cut it. Hopefully it won't shatter in my hand. And then I have some plywood which I'll screw over the hole and put a new hole, almost a cat flap size hole in there, so one can still use the underside half once it's covered over with the central console. So you can use that, maybe shove in, I don't know. I always think of jumper leads as an important part of a car's spares. So let's see if this works. Use a file and file this a little bit tidier. This side is already shattered right around the side, but once I've put the wood in from behind, that should stabilize it. I might put the wood on the outside, I'm not sure yet. It has weird shaping, but that's obviously to use it as a modular unit, so no two sides are the same. Over this side you've got these two sides that stick out, and then there's a section here that creates the handle that's actually recessed. So I might put the wood over the front so I can screw it in from the inside, and then I'll just paint that black as well. But at least you can then put some stuff in here when the top's covered. I'm going to be closing this in with some plywood onto which I can screw the console as well. So yeah, that worked. I'm happy with that. Typically a little bit more. A little bit more squared off. I think that's probably a better way of doing it. Anyway, I'll show you more when I'm done. This shouldn't be too hard a job, he says famously. Right, there I am again. A very soaked cloth of thinners. Let's hope this doesn't react with anything. I've already scotch brighted, dried and masked. Oh shit, feel it. I'm hoping this plastic doesn't react too badly to this. But anyway, so I'm wiping this all down in the hope the plastic doesn't react. This won't be good news if it does. Doesn't sound like it. It doesn't feel like it. So I'm just doing the final wipe down before I start with the primer. I'm going to use the same plastic primer as before. Hopefully that'll give us good adhesion for the black, because I'm actually going to paint all of this black to go with the interior, the seats of the van. And then once that's done, I'll reassemble all of this, hopefully in a way that makes some sense. And it'll fit between the seats like a regular console, with a couple of cup holders. The section drops down and you can have your documents or chocolate or wallet or whatever in there. So we'll give this a couple of minutes to dry. As I say, I'm hoping that this does not react, because I'll be super unimpressed and sad if this actually reacts to the thinners. Stuff stinks. Anyway, it's been scotch brighted. If this goes completely tits up, then I'm in trouble, and I'm going to have to throw this away and find another one. This came out of a truck, as I said. It was obviously the center console of the big 7.5 ton delivery truck. But when they go past their time, they take the refrigerated boxes off the back, put a flatbed on it, and they end up working often for scaffolding companies, because they can carry a 7.5 ton load. And it doesn't take a lot of scaffolding to add up to 7.5 ton. Clearly they can come in and out of town easily because they're reasonably sized. I used to drive one a long time ago, and it was a very easy vehicle to live with, to be honest. Right, coming together, it's drying, and there's no tackiness other than my sense of humour. And yeah, there's still some of that very excessive thinners that I had on the cloth. The cloth was very soaked, but I think sometimes over soaking stuff is probably the right way to go about it. Right, I've moved the S10 out the way, so there's hopefully not going to be any overspray onto that. S10 is sold. As soon as the number plate is swapped over, that'll be moving on to its new owner, who I suspect will be a really, really happy guy, and his wife. As long as the wife's happy, I think everything else is pretty cool. dry properly. Shake up the cans in the meantime. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Right, back with the paint. The top of the box won't get painted because this gets screwed on there and bolted on with 3 little threaded bolts. The front cat flap, the hole that'll be completely hidden under most of it, but where you can still shove stuff into at least with the reinforcing that I put around here. I'm just going to give that literally just a last coat of black paint. Ideally I should go for something that's good for wood, I can't be bothered. So a bit of black paint just to camouflage it in the background. Some extra black on all the edges, obviously, because that's where the heavy wear areas are. But starting at the back. All of that because the light changes obviously is more like this side, and I found that there was a little bit that didn't quite look like it had enough paint.